The Boeing 787 Dreamliner was once hailed as the future of air travel, sleek, efficient, and comfortable. Airlines and passengers alike were captivated by its promise of quieter flights, lower fuel consumption, and a revolutionary design that set new standards for the industry. The Dreamliner quickly became a symbol of innovation, representing Boeing's bold vision for the next generation of aviation. But recent revelations have shaken that confidence, exposing a hidden flaw within the plane's structure. What was once a story of progress has now become a cautionary tale, as engineers and regulators uncover issues that were never meant to see the light of day. This isn't about a single broken part, but a potential systemic issue in the manufacturing process. The flaw appears to be woven into the very fabric of how these planes are built, raising concerns that go far beyond a simple repair or recall. The Dreamliner is a global workhorse, flying millions of passengers every year. The idea of a fundamental assembly flaw is deeply unsettling for travelers, airlines, and regulators alike, casting a shadow over the aircraft's impressive track record and reputation. The problem isn't routine wear and tear, it's a defect from the factory floor, raising urgent questions about oversight and quality control. How could such a critical issue slip through the cracks in a company renowned for its engineering excellence? News of excessive gaps in a critical structural component has eroded the trust between manufacturer and public. Passengers now wonder if the planes they board are as safe as they once believed, while airlines scramble to reassure the flying public. With Boeing already under intense scrutiny for its safety culture, every new report is amplified, turning technical bulletins into headline news. The company faces mounting pressure from regulators, the media, and the public to address these concerns transparently and swiftly. The discovery in the 787's forward pressure bulkhead is more than a mechanical issue. It's a test of the industry's transparency and commitment to safety. As investigations continue, the world is watching to see how Boeing and the aviation community respond to this unprecedented challenge. At the heart of the controversy surrounding the Boeing 787 is a critical component known as the forward pressure bulkhead. This part, though hidden from passengers' view, plays a vital role in the safety and performance of every flight. The forward pressure bulkhead is a dome-shaped wall located just behind the cockpit, forming a barrier between the flight deck and the rest of the aircraft's pressurized cabin. Its main job is to keep the cabin pressurized at high altitudes, holding back the thin, freezing air outside. Without it, the difference in pressure between the inside and outside of the plane would make safe flight impossible. The bulkhead must be flawlessly strong and perfectly sealed, enduring thousands of pressurization cycles over the aircraft's lifetime. Even the smallest imperfection can have serious consequences. The issue at hand? During assembly, excessive gaps and misalignment have been found, creating stress points that can lead to metal fatigue and cracks over time. These cracks may start out microscopic, but with each flight, they can silently grow, threatening the bulkhead's strength and ultimately the safety of everyone on board. If the bulkhead were to fail, the result could be explosive decompression, an immediate catastrophic event that leaves little time for response. This isn't just about passenger comfort or convenience, it's about the structural integrity of the entire aircraft and the lives of everyone aboard. That's why flaws in this single component have triggered such a serious and urgent response from aviation regulators and safety experts worldwide. The forward pressure bulkhead is a silent guardian. Its integrity is non-negotiable, and its reliability is essential for every safe journey through the skies. The FAA, America's top aviation authority, responded with swift and decisive action, leaving no room for doubt about the seriousness of the situation. As the agency responsible for the safety of millions of passengers every day, the FAA's word carries immense weight in the aviation world. On March 17, 2025, the FAA issued a mandatory airworthiness directive, a formal order that immediately set the industry on high alert. The directive required that all U.S.-registered Boeing 787s, regardless of airline or route, must undergo a thorough visual inspection of the forward pressure bulkhead, a critical structural component at the front of the aircraft. This wasn't a suggestion or a guideline, it was a binding legal requirement enforceable by law and backed by the full authority of the federal government. The directive covered 135 Dreamliners across all models, affecting nearly every major U.S. airline operating the 787. The FAA's technical analysis was unequivocal. If left unchecked, the flaws in the bulkhead could develop into hidden cracks, potentially leading to catastrophic structural failure during flight. Boeing had previously issued a voluntary bulletin, urging airlines to inspect their fleets, but compliance was inconsistent and not guaranteed. The FAA's directive changed everything, making these inspections compulsory and leaving no room for interpretation or delay. Airlines had no choice but to comply. Failure to do so would mean immediate grounding of their aircraft, disrupting schedules and impacting thousands of passengers. Major carriers scrambled to coordinate with maintenance teams, reschedule flights, and ensure every affected aircraft was inspected as quickly as possible. The FAA set a strict framework and deadline for compliance, emphasizing that safety could not be compromised for convenience or cost. The agency's swift and public action sent a powerful message to the industry and the public alike. Safety comes first, and ambiguity is not an option when lives are at stake. This regulatory move was crucial in managing risk, restoring public trust, and demonstrating that the FAA would not hesitate to intervene when necessary. The industry had to act, and fast, because in aviation every second counts when safety is on the line. Ignoring the bulkhead defect would be a gamble with devastating consequences. The worst-case scenario: catastrophic structural failure and explosive decompression at altitude. Passengers and crew would be exposed to lethal conditions in seconds, with little chance of survival. Even a slower failure would trigger a major emergency: oxygen masks, rapid descent, chaos in the cabin. The cockpit, just ahead of the bulkhead, could be compromised, endangering flight controls and crew. A single weak point can cascade into widespread failure throughout the aircraft. Beyond mechanics, inaction would destroy public trust in aviation safety. Passengers would avoid the 787, airlines would suffer, and regulators would face backlash. The risk isn't just technical, it's reputational and systemic. In aviation, safety lapses are never isolated. They threaten the entire system. The direct cost of FAA-mandated inspections, about $850 per aircraft, seems minor in an industry of billion-dollar budgets. But the real expense is operational. Pulling a 787 from service disrupts tight schedules, causing delays and cancellations. Airlines must reroute planes, rebook passengers, and absorb lost revenue from grounded flights. The logistical headache extends to maintenance crews and hangar space, straining already tight resources. Multiply these disruptions across an entire fleet, and the true cost skyrockets. Still, airlines have no alternative. Safety is a non-negotiable investment. The financial fallout from a single accident would dwarf any inspection costs. Publicly, airlines accept the burden. Privately, they scramble to minimize disruption. The $114,500 total for US Dreamliners is just the tip of the iceberg. Ultimately, the price of safety is always worth paying. The 787 bulkhead issue isn't isolated. It's part of a troubling pattern at Boeing. Whistleblowers have raised alarms about gaps in the fuselage assembly, echoing the bulkhead concerns. These tiny imperfections, invisible to passengers, could stress the airframe and shorten its lifespan. The pattern suggests systemic lapses in quality control and manufacturing tolerances. Boeing insists its planes are safe, but repeated reports paint a picture regulators can't ignore. The focus on production speed may have overshadowed the meticulous attention safety demands. This isn't just about the Dreamliner. Boeing's entire safety culture is under the microscope. The bulkhead flaw is seen as another symptom of deeper challenges at one of aviation's giants. Whistleblowers play a vital role in aviation safety, often risking their careers to expose hidden dangers. The engineer who flagged fuselage gaps in 2024 did so out of a sense of duty, forcing uncomfortable questions into the open. These insiders spot problems regulators can't always see, triggering crucial investigations. Their courage drives accountability and higher standards across the industry. In a separate, sobering incident, a body was found in a 787's wheel well after a flight, highlighting the extreme, lethal environment outside the pressurized cabin. The wheel well's freezing, airless conditions are a stark reminder of why structural integrity matters. Every component, from the bulkhead to the windows, creates a protective bubble for human life. These stories connect engineering to the fundamental need for safety every time we fly. Airlines responded swiftly to the FAA's directive, determined to restore passenger confidence. They coordinated with Boeing and regulators, publicly emphasizing their commitment to safety. Behind the scenes, maintenance teams worked overtime to schedule and complete inspections with minimal disruption. Airlines reassured passengers that the checks were proactive, not a reaction to disaster. Communication focused on transparency and the system's effectiveness in catching issues before they become crises. The process required tight coordination between flight operations and engineering. By grounding planes for inspection and keeping the public informed, airlines reinforced aviation's safety record. Their visible action is key to maintaining trust in the skies. The 787 Bulkhead saga is a lesson in why relentless safety checks are the backbone of aviation. Passengers rarely see the immense forces planes endure, or the invisible shield that keeps them safe. That shield is built and maintained by a culture of obsessive oversight and constant verification. In aviation, there are no small mistakes. Even a tiny flaw can have catastrophic consequences. Mandatory inspections are not a nuisance, they're essential, catching problems before they ever reach the sky. This safety net is a collaborative effort from engineers to regulators, all working to uphold aviation's remarkable record. Discovering a flaw isn't failure, it's proof the system works. Every inspection, every whistleblower, every directive is a testament to vigilance. Our trust in air travel is earned by this relentless pursuit of safety every single day.